Welcome back, everyone, to Coffee with Cakes, Episode 2, the talk show that we produce and pay for, star in, and direct, because we're manifesting just this talk show life for us. No, really, we loved our Friday chats. We would just have these the most unhinged conversations about family life, pop culture, work, things that were going on. And we were like, what if someone just recorded us on these random conversations? I think they're actually somewhat interesting. So we thought, what if we just invite our followers, our customers, our friends, mom, dad, they're here, to just have coffee with us.
Also, we started our business 3 years ago, and in the beginning, Taylor and I would write handwritten notes in every single package. We would call up our customers, send voice memos, and as we've grown, it's gotten harder to stay connected with our customers. So I'm just really excited to get back to our roots and have those like real person connections. I don't know. It's just so important and the fun part of all of this.
Well, we actually, speaking of getting back to our roots, we just had a Hype Girl happy hour last night.
Oh, tell me how it went.
We had a great crew. Hi, Desiree. Desiree is one of our first Hype Girl customers, among many other things, and she's now the head of our customer care team. But our Hype Girl happy hour last night, we did an exercise where we all worked on manifesting our rich lives. And I talked them through the method that we put together. And we'll share it later after the fact. But it was super fun. We'll make sure everyone knows. If you're not in the Cakes Confidential group on IG, that's where we share a lot of our Hype Girl happenings. But I manifested an in-person community event, which I'm excited about. Okay, so first session, water cooler talk. What's going on with you?
I'm still in my temporary house, but I vowed to myself to stop talking about fire life. So moving on in my life, and I'll hopefully be in our new house next week, which is really exciting. And Lucas starts school next week, so I just feel like we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and things are stable.
Well, if anyone doesn't know, Casey lived in the Palisades, and so having some sense of stability and just like feeling grounded, I think, has been really challenging right now. So I'm really glad the childcare situation and housing situation is stable. Things are under control over in Cakestopia world. We have been off to the races. We just had an in-person meeting with a smaller group in New York, which was super fun. But my water cooler talk is like, I can't believe this is my life. I didn't know this was a thing. I am in big trouble.
Oh.
The postmaster in my town has summoned me to not
about what?
My like local post office. I have to go to the big head honcho post office in town.
Oh.
Because apparently, because we moved to LA and then moved back, they got suspicious about all of our change of addresses. So they've been hoarding our mail. And I had someone who we work with go to the post office to pick up a package for me. And she's like, You've been summoned by the postmaster. He won't give me your mail until you show up in person and talk to him. So I'm doing that this afternoon. I didn't know that a postmaster was a job.
You're in trouble.
But now I'm really intimidated by the postmaster.
Well, it's intimidating even going to the not postmasters. Just going up to the counter and talking to the post office staff is a big feat to even do that.
Yeah, it's really serious. Like, and I'm going to get Charlie a passport. I have a 10-month-old and I want to get him a passport. We don't have any trips planned, but I just feel like I don't want to be like limited by travel. If, he doesn't have a passport, and a 10-month-old passport photo just is going to be so cute. So, I'm like scared though. So I feel like every time I go to the post office, I don't have the right forms, or I get in trouble by whoever's working at the desk for not having the right forms. So, we'll
maybe bring Charlie with you. So I feel like if you bring a baby with you, sometimes people are a little nicer. No,
not last time. I brought Logan. She was 2. or no, she's like 1.5, the cutest age ever. And I still remember Faith. She was not happy with me.
Okay, well, maybe you should live stream from the Postmaster meeting, and we can be there for moral
Okay.
support.
I'll update you next week on Coffee with Cakes.
Oh, I was
So,
about to, speaking of post office drama, actually, let's keep going. This will turn into a very boring episode if we just talk about our post office situations.
we need a guest this week. Can we invite the Postmaster to next week's Coffee with Cakes? He's our first guest. He or she, I don't know. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Let's go.
Oh, it was Grace. Not Faith. Okay, so
Craig doesn't forget.
I will never forget Grace. Okay, what happens after water cooler talk? Business banter, or do you want to do the pop culture drama of the week?
Let's do business banter.
Okay. So this is the 3-year, actually tomorrow is the 3-year anniversary of CAKES. We started CAKES back in 2022, and it was this simple idea. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not going to bore you with the story. Out of Casey's living room and kitchen, her condo in LA, and then I was making TikToks from my office with the horrendous flower wallpaper, RIP. And that was really our business. That was our team. So I thought we could play a game where I say one word and you have to tell me, you have to tell the story. So I'm going to say, this is like a twin telepathy game.
Oh, okay.
So, oh, hi, Emily.
And Madison joined just in time for a twin telepathy game.
Okay, guys, so for our anniversary, we're playing a twin telepathy game. We're going to see if I can say one word that represents one of our biggest oh shit moments, and then Casey's going to tell the story.
Okay.
So, first is TaskRabbit.
That was the first time we went truly viral. The first few months, I think we sold, I don't know, maybe 100 units a month. And it was mainly our friends and friends of friends. And then the first time we went viral, which was when Casey Jackson, another business owner, posted about us. And I remember Taylor and I were together and we had the notifications on our Shopify on our phone. And it was just like ding, 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 ding all day. And it was so exciting because it was the first day we thought we might actually have a chance at having an actual business. And I still had my corporate job at the time. And I was in Connecticut visiting Taylor. So I went home back to LA. I called out of work for the week, hired a bunch of TaskRabbits to come over and help me, literally filled up my car every day, made multiple trips to the post office, and we got all the orders out. And after that, we had no inventory left at my house. And that was when we really needed to switch over to a fulfillment center. Oh no, Taylor, I think you froze on my end. Guys, am I frozen or is Taylor frozen? I feel like Taylor's service is always triggering to me. Oh no. Taylor. Oh, there you are. Sorry. I don't know if I froze or you froze.
It's probably me. I'm getting Starlink.
Okay. I finished the story. Oh, Taylor is frozen. Okay, I get very triggered by Taylor's service.
Might need to go.
Also, it's like she's moved houses and it's still bad. It's like the whole town. Okay, you're back.
Okay, George.
George, my dog?
No, I think it's Dad's friend George.
Oh,
I don't know if that's his name.
yeah, that is his name. Oh my gosh. So when Taylor and I were just starting out, my dad connected us with his friend who owns a skincare business that is supposedly very successful, but I had never, like, I don't know. Okay, you're frozen making that face at me. But whatever. It was the truth. It was, I guess, an established brand, but it had been around for a while. And we were, just meeting with him to learn about having a business and all of that stuff. And at no point did we say we were looking for investors. And he kicked off the meeting saying, I would never invest in this type of business. And then by the end of the meeting, he was basically emailing us asking how he could invest. Taylor, your face the whole time was like this. Well, I was telling that story. You were at the edge of your seat. But yeah, that was kind of a lesson in a lot of times people will close the door on you before they even give you a chance. And it's really important to, I think something that we've done. Okay, wait, let me start that over. People will shut the door before you even have a chance. And something that we had to do in the beginning and we still have to do is like quickly sell the vision of where we're going, not just where we're at today. Because I think a lot of times people assume, especially when we were starting out, like, oh, this is a single product. You just go viral on TikTok. You don't have a sustainable, scalable business. So very quickly off the bat in meetings, we oftentimes try to sell the vision of where we're going and how we have a sustainable and scalable path to get there. And I think that's a really important thing that we've learned to do from having a lot of doors shut, like before we even get a chance. And it kind of helps people, prop them open and be like, wait, I want to be involved in that.
Well, I also love the WeWork example. I forget, Adam Newman, is that his name? The WeWork founder. Like before he even had real estate, he was like, we are going to redefine how people live and work and like come together. And it was this crazy big vision, but he got people, there are pros and cons of being such a visionary and being able to sell this vision maybe beyond. But something that comes easier to men, I think, than to women is being able to sell where you're going even before you've done it yet. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like you don't need to, even I have friends working on businesses and I think they're hesitant. They're like, I'm not doing anything yet because their product hasn't launched. I'm like, what you're doing is actually really challenging. You are in the stages of launching a business. That is, you already own the business. That is your baby already. You don't need to wait until it's out into the world to take ownership of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't find my
George.
notes. So I can't remember the last oh shit moment. I have one.
Okay, tell me the word and I'll say it to you, and then Owen can cut it. You have another word?
U-Haul.
Oh, U-Haul.
So after we first went viral, we had Casey, basically, as she was talking about, she had to call out of work for the whole week after we first went viral, bring a bunch of TaskRabbits in to basically be able to fulfill all of the orders. At that moment, we knew this wasn't sustainable, so we moved into our first we moved into our first fulfillment center, and it was run by a bunch of guys in Long Beach. And Casey was traveling, visiting her husband's family on a different time zone, so I couldn't get in touch with Casey. And I don't know what happened, but I was convinced that these guys had stolen our inventory of cakes. Like they stole thousands of our cakes. And I called Olivia, our first employee, and I'm like, look at flights. Like we need to get on a flight tomorrow and what's the biggest U-Haul we can get? We got to get these cakes. They've been stolen. I don't know what these guys would have done with all of our cakes or what they would have wanted them for. But luckily, Casey woke up and was like, I think it's just miscommunication, and it was completely fine. So that was a little bit of
That's pretty much us in a nutshell. And I feel like why we make a good team is Taylor likes to fix problems that maybe aren't even problems immediately. And sometimes I'm like, okay, let's just see.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was very stressful though, because it was like and that's come up so many times in businesses. When you go from doing literally every single thing yourself, it was either I was doing it or Taylor was doing it, and then you're letting go of important pieces of the business. It's just like a very trippy control exercise, and especially the physical product, handing that over and just shipping thousands of units there. It's very scary, and but they did a great job. And we have since evolved to a different company, but they were really like great partners at that stage.
They were really great. And they didn't steal our cakes. So that was really
They didn't steal thousands of nipple covers for them and their friends.
I would have loved to see them try though.
Well, apparently it's the talk of the town. Whenever anyone, what was that story Jackie was saying? Oh, well, like we've been talking with different, I don't know, like if our cakes get stopped at customs, and sometimes like all of the custom agents are a bunch of men, and they're like, everyone gets a kick out of it. They just think it's so funny.
We have we had a shipment go to the wrong fulfillment center. So it was like a medical device fulfillment center received a bunch of cakes, like pallets and pallets of cakes nipple covers, all men in the fulfillment center. And the receptionist was kind enough to reach out on Instagram, and she's like, I have pallets of cakes at our fulfillment center. I don't know how they got here. And we were able to get them back. And she's like, everyone's been getting such a kick out of, I don't know why it's so funny. They're just nipple covers.
I feel like we have the most viewers we've ever had. Should we do a giveaway? This is so nice.
41.
That's awesome.
No,
Last week it was,
I see 55. Last week we had 12. Thank you
12
everyone
and
for
13.
being here.
13 was our high last week.
13 was okay. What are we doing? What did we do for a giveaway last week? A Starbucks gift card?
Yeah, Anna did a few different things. Okay, so everyone put in, what should everyone put in? Your coffee order?
No, do when like someone's birthday is, or like the birthday theme.
A birthday theme?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
everyone put your favorite type of cake in?
well, what about like everyone do their birthday, and whoever has the closest birthday to February 1 wins.
Everyone put in your birthday in the chat. You don't have to put the year. And we'll pick whoever's birthday is closest to February 1st.
Anna said she would send Dolce & Gabbana / Skims bralettes. That's a good one. Or coffee.
Okay. Which are completely sold out. So
January 11th, that was just passed. Okay, February 18th, that's coming up.
Okay, Anna.
Okay. Olivia
Anna
and Anna monitor the comments.
Okay, Dolce and Gabbana coming your way.
Was that a stupid one?
No, it's great. I just don't want to alienate, the summer birthdays.
Sorry.
I'm hoping my Skims X Dolce and Gabbana is stuck at the post office with the postmaster. I will have to rip it out of his / her hands.
You never got it?
I feel like they're no, I think it's with the postmaster.
I think we should play this game again next week, and I'll think of some words too, because I feel like we have a lot of funny stories.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Twin telepathy. That would be a good segment. Maybe that is a segment title, because we're still figuring out like how to structure these. So guys, in the comments too, let us know like what things are interesting to listen to and what things are boring.
Yeah, like we could go on and on about business stuff. I just don't know if that's interesting. Also, should we talk more about the future of retail stuff? Oh, Rebecca.
Totally up to you. I kind of wanted to go into our pop culture because I do believe at 12.
Okay, let's move on, but we'll find out. Can you find out later from people if like what they find interesting?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Okay, so drama of the week. We need a jingle. We're going to be highlighting one pop culture drama of the week. And I normally find pop culture drama interesting for many reasons. But as it relates to cakes, I'm always thinking about how something is going viral in culture and in the just general conversation. Like, why are some of these things so interesting to us? And I feel like there's a lot of learnings as we're thinking about how to make our brand relevant and going viral and stuff like that. So the drama that I like cannot get enough of and that I just find it so fascinating right now is Matt and Rachel didn't know who they were before this week. Rachel just was featured on Call Her Daddy. They broke up. They were boyfriend and girlfriend. They broke up. And the drama of it was they were on The Bachelor and they were in a very long-term boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And Matt broke up with Rachel while she was on her way to the, right before she was on her way to the airport to leave Japan. So she was just about to get on a really long flight. So he broke up with her, as a boyfriend or girlfriend does sometimes. Doesn't seem that crazy. But then he posted, like moments later, he posted this breakup announcement without her knowing. I'm not sure of the timeline, but like a couple weeks later, I think she then went and did a tell-all on Call Her Daddy. No.
3 days
So,
later.
okay, Olivia is saying 3 days later.
That's nuts.
So very soon after. We can fact check that. But very soon after. I feel like the flight from Japan is like 3 days.
No, she got back. It was like a week later.
Okay, it was very soon.
She was still jet lagged.
very soon after this years-long relationship ended, she's doing a
Okay,
tell-all.
people seem invested
Okay.
based on these comments.
What are people commenting? Because I can't see the comments.
Like so messed up and things like that. I'm assuming so messed of Matt, but it was soon after. Yeah, keep going.
So did you ask or did I ask if we thought it was made up?
Oh, you asked that, which that would be very interesting. And someone said, and she didn't even have service on the flight to like respond or digest. The part I find so just weird about this whole situation, and just it's not even them, it's our society, is why must you post that? Like posting even an announcement like at all, but even like so soon after when it's still so fresh, like why did you feel the need to do that? And then also I feel bad for her, but also like why do you also feel the need to go on right away and tell your side of the story? I don't know. It just seems like a lot of exposing something very personal.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the thing about social media. In order to be relevant on social media, there needs to be drama. And I don't mean this level of drama, but there needs to be some innate tension for people to find you interesting. So I'm not saying this is made up. If it was made up, though, something like this was made up, it would be brilliant because people get so invested in you. And then there is like I didn't know who she was 2 weeks ago, and now she's all over my feed. So it's kind of a brilliant thing to think about, is like this orchestrated drama where she and he knows, like they're aware of how they can play this situation to make themselves relevant and create career opportunities and create exposure for themselves. So while I'm sure the emotions are very real, I think they're both probably smart enough to know I can use the situation to my advantage right now.
I wonder what it feels like going through life like that. Like even she said, oh, when they were in Japan, it was all centered around what content he was going to get. So I guess if that was they were going for a work trip, that makes sense, but that would just make me sad. Like I almost feel like as an influencer, and Taylor, you're more on social media than I am, so maybe I don't know if you've experienced this, but like that just makes me sad. Like what must that be like going through life if your brain is always, oh, we're going to go on this trip vacation for all the things we can post, and then we're going to break up, and I immediately, how am I going to share this with the world? That just seems like it would almost distort your reality.
it totally does. You have to ask yourself, and I'm on the smallest scale possible, but you have to ask yourself the question, at what cost do I want exposure, and at what cost do I want to be social media famous? I got in beef with a really big TikTok influencer early on when I was starting to go viral. It was completely accidental. Like I made a comment that was a generalization about a lot of different women I was seeing on TikTok on my FYP getting liposuction. And it was not a judgment on any one person for making that decision. It was just like, wow, like this is really interesting and like sad, more as a society. Like what is it about society that's making these young, beautiful women feel like they need liposuction? And this one person took it that it was directed at her in response to her video. And it was going viral. I did a response video, like apologizing. I'm like, this is like not what I meant at all. I was trying to clarify, because that's a really hard thing on social media. Is like the hardest thing for me on social media is when people make assumptions about you that are incongruent with your true self. Like when people assume you're a bad, mean, judgmental person, when that's not my heart at all. Like that's kind of the opposite of what I was trying to get across, and clearly it didn't land. So it was like a couple back and forth, but it just kept getting worse. And then all of a sudden her followers, who are super loyal, were like bullying me in the comments, coming to her defense. People were privately messaging me being like, oh, I'm so glad you made this post, like I agree with you, but I'm kind of like scared to comment back because it's getting really tense in the comments. If I wanted to, like that could have blown me up. That whole situation, like she's like a big, big name. I deleted both of the videos. I blocked her and I apologized privately in DMs. Like I was just
Did she
like,
ever respond when you privately apologized?
she was like not happy. She was like,
Oh.
basically like, stop posting videos. I was like, I'm really sorry. Like I just posted one more as an apology to try to clarify that it wasn't directed at you. And she asked me to delete them. And so I deleted them and she kept like totally fine. But to me, I guess the point is like the cost of
That's horrible.
that, like the cost of blowing up on social media at the cost of getting so much drama and tension and hate, like to me is not worth it, because that weighs on me. I'm like, I don't have the cojones for that.
Also,
I don't have the cojones
like,
for TikTok drama.
Also, nothing you were saying, just to defend you, nothing you were saying was even overtly, like even slightly mean or wrong. And like, also, why can't two people have different opinions? But do you think some people don't mind and almost
Yeah,
that, like they almost, and what does that say about them? Like some people kind of thrive on that feeling, like, and I'm going to say two people who I love, like Bethany Frankel and Spencer Pratt, and like I just love them as influencers on social media. They thrive on that tension. And like, do you think that bothers them at night? Or no,
I
it
think
doesn't. They like it.
know exactly what they're doing and how to play it to their advantage, and they can play the game. I would love to know how someone like Bethany over the years has become so resilient and tough to criticism, and does it almost like when Bethany faces criticism, she's not backing down, she's actually leaning in and doubling down. And I would just love to know like how she's developed that thick of a skin, and if she truly like doesn't give a fuck, or if
We lost. Oh, yep.
and I would
If
love
she
to know if she truly doesn't give a fuck, or if that's kind of a front, you know? Because I need some of that. It's really hard to post on social media authentically and share your true opinion, knowing that people are going to nitpick and find the one thing to try to paint you to be a mean person. And I'm like,
oh no, you paused again. We need to do screenshots of all the faces Taylor's paused in.
okay, am I here?
You're here.
Okay.
Um,
Should we wrap up?
so yeah, let's wrap up. I guess we didn't really, we didn't have a consensus of like, I don't really have like a Team Matt or Team Rachel opinion. I just think it's a little bit telling of where we're at in society and social media, and it's just sad. But I mean, I guess if I had to choose, I'd be Team Rachel, because like, what? Well, I don't know. I wouldn't really choose a side. Like, I think both of them. Why are you sharing all of that?
I think they're looking at this as their careers and choosing to share, as seeing this as an opportunity, not sharing false feelings. I'm sure it's very authentic and raw what they're sharing, but I think they're probably looking at this as, this is an opportunity for me to capitalize on this exposure and get more career opportunities. So I kind of look at it differently from the marketing lens, and I'm like, I don't think I could have the guts and the thick skin to be able to put myself out there and really like just share so vulnerably in these like really horrible moments. Like it has to be like one of the lowest moments of your life and you're doing a tell-all. Like I just would need to protect my inner peace more than that for myself personally. Like I know myself and I would crumble if I tried to do that. Open myself up to public criticism.
Well, to each their own.
To each
We won't
their
do
own.
that.
But I do have a lot of takeaways. I'm like, not that I want to like orchestrate drama for CAKES.
Should we get into a big fight? Oh no.
Okay.
No. Taylor's service is going to be the death of me.
Okay.
All right.
Let's just go.
We need to figure out your Wi-Fi for next week.
I'm getting started.
Does Owen need like a formal ending from us?
Okay. See you next week.
Bye.
Tune in next week. Thanks for joining. Sorry about my Wi-Fi.
That was such an abrupt ending.
I gotta go. I'm getting triggered by my own Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Okay. Love you.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.